You ever have one of those days where your mind is totally sharp, but your body just feels off? Or the other way around? Well, there's this ancient concept that's all about bridging that exact gap. It's called Xing Ming Shou, or the Theory of Dual Cultivation. And honestly, it's a pretty powerful way to think about becoming a truly integrated person. So, right off the bat, you hear a name like dual cultivation, and you might think, how can you focus on two things at the same time? And that question, that's actually the whole point. It's about shifting our perspective to see the mind and body not as two separate projects we have to juggle, but as one single system. At its core, the idea is actually super simple. It says there are these two fundamental parts of our being, right? And they are so deeply woven together that you literally can't develop one without also working on the other. If you really want to grow, you've got to cultivate them together. And here it is, the central rule of the game. This isn't about choosing between being smart or being healthy. The philosophy says they are two sides of the same coin. And here's the kicker. If you neglect one, you're actively damaging the other. So this dual approach, it's really the only path forward. Okay, so if we're supposed to be cultivating two things, what are these two things? Let's break them down. The theory splits our being into two core concepts, one that's all about our spirit and another that's about our pure physical life force. So the two halves are known as Xing, or Xing, and Ming, or Ming. Think of Xing as everything happening inside, your spiritual awareness, your consciousness, your mind, and then you've got Ming, which is all about your physical vitality, your life force, your energy, even the very breath in your lungs. One is the invisible awareness, and the other is the very real vessel that holds it. Now, I know this can sound a bit abstract, so to make it really click, the philosophy uses this absolutely brilliant analogy. Just think of a mirror. It's the perfect way to understand how these two forces, spirit and body, are completely dependent on each other. The source text puts it like this. A mirror is naturally bright, but if it gets covered in dust, that light just disappears. You can't separate the light from the mirror. And obviously, if the mirror breaks, the light is just gone. See the two key parts here? There's the brightness, and then there's the physical thing that creates it. So let's connect the dots. The mirror's brightness, its natural ability to shine and reflect, that's our spirit, our Xing. And the physical mirror itself, the glass and the frame, that's our body, our life force, our Ming. And this analogy teaches us two really critical lessons. First, if we let dust, physical neglect, bad habits, collect on the mirror, our spiritual light gets dim and unclear. But even more seriously, if the mirror itself shatters, if our body breaks down, then the spirit has nowhere to be. The light is completely lost. So yeah, that whole mirror thing makes it pretty obvious why trying to focus on just one of these is, well, kind of pointless. The connection between them isn't just important, it's fundamentally inseparable. And that brings us to the core thesis of this whole idea. A spirit without life force is like brightness without a mirror. It has no foundation, nowhere to exist. And a life force without a spirit, that's like a perfect mirror sitting in a pitch-black room. It's a functional body with absolutely no purpose, no light to reflect. Okay, so what's the end game here? What does it actually look like when you succeed at this? The ultimate goal isn't just about finding a good balance. It's about reaching this profound state of unity, where your mind and your energy actually become one. The first step is described as 心息相依. This is where the mind and the breath become deeply interconnected. It's that moment where your awareness and your physical body stop feeling like two different things. Instead, they start moving together in this perfect harmony where each one supports the other. And that leads to the ultimate state, Shen Qi He Yi, where spirit and energy literally become one. This is described as a total integration. It's a state where the line between your mental awareness and your physical energy just dissolves. You don't have a mind and a body anymore. You just are a single unified being. So this ancient idea leaves us with a really modern question, doesn't it? In our world, with all the notifications and distractions constantly pulling our minds and bodies in different directions, how do we actually find the time and focus to take care of both the physical mirror and its spiritual brightness? The answer is probably a little different for each of us, but just asking the question, that feels pretty essential.